First of all, I want to make it very clear that our thoughts and prayers go out to the victim and their families, and how much that means to us that we're thinking of them right now. And I want to also make it really clear that this situation is over. Right now, we're moving into the investigative phase. The mall's going to be closed tomorrow, and as you can imagine, it's a huge facility right there. What I want to say is just that for all of us, the mall is supposed to be a place that we can all take our families, feel comfortable that this is a great place, especially at the holiday season like this. And these things aren't supposed to happen, you know, and we train for them. We pray and hope that they never do happen. And unfortunately tonight, we did have an active shooter situation where an individual came in there, took the lives of 2 people. And we have a young lady at the hospital fighting for her life right now. I want to say that I'm really proud of all the different agencies that came together to really step up and put their lives on the line to go out there and do what they could as quickly as they could. We had people at the mall within minutes, and teams were deployed responding quickly to basically hunt down and find this guy in the mall. And they did it in record time. I have to say, we've just had 4 SWAT teams that quickly responded. They were deployed throughout the facility, and again continued to search out to make sure that we were trying to find this individual, work hard to make sure there weren't any other individuals, and we did that. The one thing I want to say how complicated this is, it's 1.4 square feet of property that we had to search out there within the building. Today there was about 10,000 people at the mall. So there was a huge amount of people running in different directions, and it was chaos for a lot of citizens. But I want to just also recognize and say we had some true heroes stepping up in really this time of really high stress for a lot of people in there. We had some ER nurses on scene that were providing medical care to the folks that were injured. There was a physician on scene that was there also helping provide care to the wounded. And my thanks to those citizens and many others that really stepped up to help people get out of the mall. And there were really a tremendous amount of people that came together to help get as many people out of there as we could. So as you can imagine, having over 10,000 people in this mall at the holiday season, having this happen was a pretty traumatic incident for a lot of people. And that's really one of the things that worked out, I think, is we got a lot of people out of there and got the law enforcement in there quickly to respond to where we're at. So with that, I wanted to make sure I turn it over to Sergeant Phillips and have him answer any other questions. Thanks.
As the sheriff said, this is a huge facility that we're dealing with. 1.4 million square feet, over 100 law enforcement agencies, over 100 law enforcement officers from around the region are assisting us currently. The ATF is assisting us, the FBI is assisting us, all of our local police agencies. We thank them for their assistance now, and we're going to be relying on them in the near future as well. The family members or witnesses who want to contact us, please call us at 503-655-8211. If you saw something or know something about this incident firsthand, we want to hear from you. There is a lot of speculation going on about what happened, what the circumstances were, and the active shooter situations, intense situations like this, get perceived many ways. You get 10 different people who saw the same incident, and they're going to give you 10 different versions of it. We, as law enforcement officers, our job is to collect all that information and make it into a cohesive idea of what actually occurred, not report based on the speculation. We have tentatively identified the shooter at this time. We will not release his name or any other information other than he's an adult male until we have 100% confirmed that identity. The Investigation will go on throughout the night. We have a command post set up over there. If you're a witness and you feel capable of coming back to the TriMet Max light rail platform to be interviewed and you have not been interviewed yet, come directly there. If you don't feel up to it tonight, call us at our non-emergency number that we've listed. The sheriff said, and I'll reiterate, the mall will be closed tomorrow. You can go to their website for current information about if you're an employee or a store manager. You can go there. They will also be contacting you directly. If you are a citizen who left stuff behind at the mall, we have reports that there are strollers, purses, bags, jackets, car keys, wallets, personal prescriptions left behind in the mall. Your stuff is secure where it is tonight. A process will be set up between the sheriff's office and the Clackamas Town Center on how to get that property back to you. It will be a delay. It will not happen tonight. It might not happen tomorrow. It is the lower end of importance of what's important in this investigation. There is 2 confirmed deceased. This was in an open area of the mall. We have a 3rd person who is injured and is receiving medical treatment right now. We have the shooter who died of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. I do not have information to share with you about what type of weapon it was. I don't know how many shots were fired. There's a lot of speculation around it, but we're going to report on what we actually know, not speculation. With that, I open it up to questions.
Adam, we heard some statements from some people on scene that the shooter may have recently been fired from a job at the mall, possibly in the food court. Do you know if he has any connection to the mall or if this was a random target?
I do not know that information, and I would just caution anybody in the public, don't rely on the speculative reports that are coming out. Rely on the confirmed information that we will be releasing.
Sergeant, any idea were these shots fired outside the mall at all?
At this point in the investigation, I do not have that information.
A vehicle, perhaps, the shooter was driving? You know anything about that?
I don't at this time.
Sergeant, the sheriff said you wanted to make sure there was nobody else involved. We did that, he said that. Is that a fact now that you know there was no one else involved?
I'm sorry, sir, I'm not following your question.
He said that you wanted to make sure everyone was safe because there was no other shooter in the mall or anyone else involved. Then he said we did that. I assume he meant check to make sure everyone was safe and check to see that there was nobody else involved.
I'm not sure what the sheriff meant by when he said that. I can say that the one person that we believe to be shooting today is dead at this time. We do not know if there was accomplices or not.
What was the length of time between the first shot and the last shot?
I don't have that information.
Was it a short time or a long time?
There's a lot of speculation out there. I don't have a confirmed information for you.
Can you provide age or gender of the deceased?
I don't have that information available until we notify their family for sure. We're still in the process of doing that completely.
Are there any other searches happening tonight in any other locations other than the mall?
As the investigation goes on, there's a likelihood that's going to occur. I don't have specifics as to if it is or not right now.
With all the witnesses talking about what the shooter was wearing, can you give us a little more description and explanation of that?
I don't have information about that part of the investigation that I can release right now.
White mask, camouflage, dark clothing?
Once again, there's a lot of speculation out there. Some of it may come true, maybe not. Until we have that information confirmed and reliably sourced, we're not going to be releasing it as confirmed information.
Did you recover the suspect's weapon? What type of weapon is it?
I don't have that information for you at this time. As far as what type of weapon it is, at least one weapon was recovered.
Can you describe it as a handgun, a rifle, military assault?
Cannot at this time.
Sergeant, the shooter, was he dead when your first responders found him, or was there a confrontation?
I've not been given that information. I do know that he's dead. No law enforcement officer fired any shots in this incident.
Sergeant, do you know how long it took to clear out all of the people inside the mall, people who may have been hiding in closets or back of stores or anything like that?
My understanding is that they are still going through a final sweep of the place. 1.4 million square feet. In a complete search, we look in every closet, every room that we can get into. So it's going to be an exhaustive search. I don't know if it's complete yet.
Have the two victims' families been notified and everybody's aware?
As I've already said, we're in the process of notifying them right now, and sometimes that can be difficult with, in a situation like this. I'd want everybody in my family to know before the police release my name to the media.
For folks who don't know the layout of the mall, can you give us a sense of the locations of the bulk of where the shooting occurred? How far were the victims apart? One end of the mall, another end of the mall?
As specifics of the incident are confirmed by our detectives on scene, and it's appropriate for me to release them, I will. Right now, we don't have that information for the media.
You tentatively identified the shooter at this point. Any timeline at all, Sergeant, for positive ID on that?
I don't have a timeline right now. I know that there is an intense interest in this, and as soon as we are able to do that, we will.
Is there any indication anybody else is wounded besides the one person in the hospital?
Say that one more time.
Is there any indication that anybody else is wounded besides the one person in the hospital?
We only had one person transported with any injuries. If there were minor injuries beyond that, I'm not aware of them.
What can you tell us about the victims in the hospital, age?
I've been told that it's a female and that she received a significant injury and that she is being treated for it.
Sergeant, can you talk about the help that you folks received from inside the mall, from calls coming into dispatch? Did that help with your tactical response to this? Was it security guards, employees in the mall, anything like that very helpful to you?
I think that we were getting information from a lot of sources. The way our officers and deputies and the troopers and the federal law enforcement officers are trained is they actively search, look to engage an active shooter in the situation. They rely on any source of information that they can, whether it be radio dispatched information, people pointing in a certain direction, or other information as it develops. They're well trained, and they hopefully, my understanding is they did a great job in this circumstance. I was not inside the mall myself.
Is the mall still are there still customers in the mall right now?
I think we are in the process of making sure that everybody is still out. The mall is closed for business tonight and will be tomorrow as well.
Sergeant, do you practice or drill in any way in tandem with mall security for active shooter situations? Have you ever done that in this particular mall?
I don't think I can speak to that accurately right now. I have some recollection of it, but I don't know that I can speak to it accurately right now.
Can you speak to how mall security responded in this case?
I have not spoken with them or anybody else about that at this point. So I know that they, since the time that I arrived, have been very helpful with us in getting the information, security footage, all that stuff.
Sergeant, can you speak to us about any relationship you know of between the victims in this case and the shooter?
I don't have any information about that at all.
Can you tell me how you guys confirmed that the shooter was dead?
I was not there. I was told that he was dead.
You mentioned no law enforcement officers fired a weapon at any customers.
I don't have that information. I don't know.
Can you say what room any gun was found in? What part of the store? Inside?
I do not have that information for release right now.
Sergeant, do you know if any of the medical personnel who happened to be in the mall at the time, the doctor and the nurses the sheriff was talking about, did they help the woman who is currently at the hospital?
The information that the sheriff was talking about, I was not aware of. A lot of information's flowing through right now. The circumstances that he's talking about, I'm not aware of. My understanding is that a lot of people helped a lot of other people in either getting to a safe location or getting out of the mall itself and out of harm's way. And if you're one of those people, we want to thank you for doing the right thing, helping your community out.